Members, the next bill on the calendar is HB 347. The Senate companion is over and eligible. The chair lays out on second reading SB 162. The clerk will read the bill.
SB 162 by Blanco, relating to a false or misleading statement made to illegally acquire a firearm, creating a criminal offense.
The chair recognizes Mr. Geren to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. During the mass violence hearings that Mr. Darby chaired, and we got to go around the state to some of the places where we unfortunately had these. We learned that the feds do not prosecute people when they lie on their firearm application. It carries a 10-year federal sentence. The man that committed the crimes in Odessa should have been in the federal penitentiary instead of killing people in Odessa. This bill is not as strong as I'd like it to be, but it says that if you lie when you fill out that form, it's a state jail felony in the state of Texas. The ATF was not even telling DPS, the people that they knew were lying on these forms. And when I went to El Paso, I promised those people that this would be the first bill I filed, and this is one I'm dedicated to passing, and I hope you will support it.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Moody, for what purpose?
Will the gentleman yield for questions?
The gentleman yield for questions.
I'd be very happy to yield.
Mr. Geren, I appreciate your comments and your layout. And you said you traveled to El Paso, and I remember the day you traveled. It was January 9th. Happened to be my birthday.
I didn't know it was your birthday at the time.
And it was not the way I wanted to
celebrate it.
It was not the way I wanted to spend my birthday, because it was reliving the tragedy of August 3rd and watching families come forward and testify in a heartfelt way and in a grieving way.
It was very emotional for me, Mr. Moody.
And I know that it impacted you because I've known you long enough to know when something touches you. And so I want to say that at that hearing, you actually did. You made a commitment. In fact, you didn't just make a commitment to filing this bill. You told the grieving families in El Paso, I am going to file and pass that bill. Isn't that true?
That is correct, Mr. Moody, and this is the lowest bill number I've ever had.
Well, a lot of things are said in politics, and a lot of promises are made in politics. I want to thank you for keeping yours. Thank you, sir. You have a great bill.
Thank you, Mr. Moody. And members, it's incredibly important for the families of the victims of these shootings that we pass this. If the federal government is not going to prosecute this, the state of Texas should prosecute it.
Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Ortega, for what purpose?
I just want to make a statement to Chairman Geren. Thank you so much for filing this bill and getting it passed. Thank you from El Paso.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Heart.
And honestly, members, the shooter in Odessa should have been in the federal penitentiary instead of killing the citizens of Midland and Odessa counties. And we need to pass this, and it needs to be signed by the governor. With that, I move passage.